my wife and extended family and I visited Great Namana just a few years ago. We went and found the farm that our family came from, where my cousins still live in the same farm. We went to the abbey where our family, our ancestors were married and buried, and our cousin William O'Shea still farms the same place. And they had this beautiful ceremony they were putting together for us in downtown Great Namana. They had the local hurling hero coming out. They had the local TD and the abbot. And William O'Shea, who was my cousin, was supposed to kick things off at the pub, and he couldn't find a parking spot. He just kept going around the block looking for a parking spot while all the festivals were waiting. And he finally got so frustrated, he prayed out loud. He said, "Lord, if you find me a parking spot, I will give up drinking whiskey and I will go to church every single Sunday." And at that very moment, the clouds parted, sun shined down on a beautiful parking spot that just opened up right in front of the facility. He said, "Never mind, I found one myself." I promise this is the last one of those jokes, Leo. For people who may have heard this before, the reason Irish jokes are famous is because they're repeated. May the winds of fortune sail you. May you sail the gentlest sea. May it always be the other guy or gal who says, "This drink's on me." Sláinte. Sláinte.
So many wonderful people from Ireland, so many friends, and we appreciate it for joining us on this very special occasion. It really is. First time was last year, and I still remember, I said that was a lot of fun. We'll do it, I guess, what do we have? 6 more left after this. Well, we're honored to welcome Taoiseach. We have a long experience. You'll explain it later, but we actually knew each other from a different life, and it was very successful. I also want to warmly welcome Ambassador Mulhall, who has done an excellent job of representing a lot of good people. Thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador. Your wife, Greta. Thank you, Greta, very much. And all of the really incredible Irish delegation, many of whom I know very well. St. Patrick's Day is a time for us to honor and build upon the lasting bonds of our friendship between the United States and Ireland. Bonds forged through a very common heritage, shared values, and a united vision for a peaceful and prosperous future. More than 30 million Americans today claim Irish heritage. That's why you have such power in the halls of Congress and everywhere else. 30 million people. Among the many wonderful Americans who trace their roots back to Ireland are elected leaders like Paul, like Kevin, like Mike. I just have to look at almost this whole room.
Thank you very much. My private secretary very, very kindly put my speech underneath the podium for me. He said it's on the second row, just down here. He didn't tell me that it was going to be weighed down by 2 pints of Guinness that are actually down here, so only in America. Mr. Speaker, Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, members of Congress, friends of Ireland, and distinguished guests. Is cúis áthastam fan seo liveniu, son rialtas agus muintir na haireann, banachtaí na féile pádraig, áireamh go léir. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for the really kind invitation to join you this afternoon to celebrate St. Patrick's Day with so many true friends of Ireland in this really magnificent setting. It's a very special occasion for me, as you allude to the fact that I once worked here in my youth. I served as a congressional intern back in the year 2000, working here on Capitol Hill as an intern for Congressman Jack Quinn, representing at the time New York 30, Buffalo, New York, who I know is a friend to some of you here today. And I actually used to give tours of this building, believe it or not, because that was part of what interns had to do. Now, I imagine it was probably a strange experience for people coming down from Buff to meet an Irish intern with an Indian name to bring them on a tour of their capital.
I wish I had shoes like that.